OK, so let's get some more now on the humanitarian efforts. David Wightwick is the CEO of UK Med, a charity which has sent a specialist team of aid workers to Morocco. Thank you very much for joining us. What are you hearing from your people on the ground, and what are your immediate operational plans for this crisis?
Yeah, so the first person has arrived this afternoon, so still very early. I've got a larger team, 3 or 4 more arriving tomorrow morning. We've frankly just wrapped up work in Turkey after the Turkey earthquake just a couple of months ago, so it's a team that's very familiar with this kind of context. I think we're seeing an earthquake obviously on a lesser scale than earlier this year, but still the complexity, as your reporter in your package earlier pointed out, the challenge of reaching isolated areas in the mountains where roads and infrastructure have been destroyed, that'll be a real challenge for everybody. Plus, of course, aftershocks and finding right places to live, and then dealing with providing essential services to people.
And this earthquake has been described as one of the strongest to hit Morocco in decades. You mention the Turkish earthquake, and your team, you personally have been responding to complex humanitarian crises for decades. Can you give us an insight into the scale of this one, if not quite on the scale of Turkey, but still pretty serious?
Well, there's scale and then there's complexity. So for sheer scale, I mean, clearly Turkey was absolutely enormous. I mean, vast earthquake, and comparable to things like the Haiti earthquake in 2010, or even Pakistan in 2005, which we were all involved in. And these are, vast in terms of millions affected. Now, clearly this one is smaller than that. But the complexity is the element that has to be emphasised. Almost everything comes down to big logistics at the end of the day, moving people and stuff from A to B. And that, of course, is a major challenge in any earthquake, but in one which involves remote regions and dispersed populations and small villages in mountains with poor roads at the best of times, that then makes it really complicated. So in terms of comparisons, if people are looking for one, the sort of Nepal earthquake in 2015 or so is probably something similar, where we had to work in very remote areas, accessing populations, and which took quite some time, really. So the military had to clear roads, or there was access only by helicopter or something else. I imagine for this region, as it's slightly smaller, that will be a quicker process, but still, it's that complexity that makes it challenging.
So that's the logistical complexity. What about the content of the aid that is needed? UK Med focuses, I believe, on medical aid. Is it mostly about medicine? Is it about tents? What is really needed? What's being provided?
So the immediate focus is going to be on search and rescue, understandably. Then straight after that, and by straight after that, I mean within the next 24 to 48 hours, there will be a lot of focus on shelter, on water and sanitation, because these are the big issues that are going to affect virtually everybody. Food provision, and of course healthcare underpins all of that. So healthcare is an essential element in any humanitarian response. And of course it's all going to depend on how many health facilities are still functioning, how many are partially destroyed, where the medical staff are themselves, because of course many of them will have been displaced or be looking after relatives. So it really does come down to a decent assessment and talking to the authorities on the ground as to where we can best position ourselves and how we can best support them.
OK, David, really good to get your insights on this, and good luck to your team there in Morocco. That's David Wightwick, CEO of UK Med. Thank you so much.
Thank you.